She is a relatively new actress and now one of the most talked about actresses of her generation. Sydney Sweeney has been called the it girl of Hollywood, the new face of desire, and also one of the most controversial women in entertainment today. But here is the question: is Sydney Sweeney a victim of a culture that can't stop sexualizing her, or is she a master player, using her beauty as a strategy in an industry that rewards attention at any cost? Her American Eagle ad campaign became one of the most loudest controversies of the year. Some called it empowering, others called it exploitative. Feminists debated whether she was reclaiming her own sexuality or simply reinforcing stereotypes. So who is Sydney Sweeney really? A victim of beauty standards or a woman rewriting the rules? Sydney Sweeney was born in Washington in 1997. She grew up far from Hollywood glamour, in a small town in a family that wasn't rich or famous. But Sydney Sweeney had ambition. At 12 years old, she gave her parents a 5-year business plan, convincing them to let her try acting. She built a 5-year business plan and PowerPoint, laying out how her acting career could actually work. Step by step, she showed what roles she would aim for, how it could pay off, and why it was worth the risk. And she literally said her parents a promise: "Give me 5 years. If nothing happens, I'll quit." Her parents were so impressed by her determination that they agreed. The irony is that a few years later, she really did start to make a name for herself. Not immediately in leading role, but the plan worked. Slowly, she landed small roles, guest spots on TV shows like Grey's Anatomy and Pretty Little Liars. Nothing huge, but enough to build a reputation. Then came HBO's Euphoria. Her role as Cassie Howard turned her into a household name. Vulnerable, messy, overly sexualized, Cassie became a mirror for teenage girls struggling with identity, love, and self-worth. But Sydney didn't just play Cassie, she was Cassie in the eyes of millions. And that blurred line between character and actress would shape how the world viewed her. Sydney Sweeney is one of the most desired women in Hollywood, and the men around her know it. She's been engaged to businessman Jonathan Davina, but tabloids constantly link her to her co-stars and powerful men. At one point, she was rumored to be romantically linked to actor Glenn Powell after their undeniable chemistry in Anyone But You. But what really shocked the internet? Reports that even Jeff Bezos, the billionaire Amazon founder, tried to get close to her. And perhaps the most eyebrow-raising story came earlier this year. In 2025, Jeff Bezos married Lauren Sanchez in Venice, and Sydney also attended this event, sparking widespread speculation. She wasn't close friends with the couple, but she may have had a strategic reason to be there. Reports reveal she's attached to a film under development with Amazon MGM Studios. Her presence at the wedding was reportedly to pay respects to the boss, echoing old Hollywood practices intended to acknowledge studio ties rather than personal friendships. At that Venice celebration, surrounded by celebrities, Oprah, the Kardashians, Orlando Bloom, Sydney's attendance spoke volumes about her awareness of opportunity. Men adore her. Women, well, that's more complicated. So around this time came the ad. American Eagle rolled out a denim campaign starring Sydney Sweeney with the slogan "Sydney Sweeney has great jeans." A cheeky line until viewers heard the wordplay underneath. This wasn't about jeans, it was about jeans, deliberately emphasizing jeans and pronouncing it like gins.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
A play on words that instantly sparked debate. In one of the clips, Sydney says, "Genes are passed down from parents to offspring." Sweeney says in the clip, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. "My genes are blue." Then a voiceover says the campaign's tagline: "Sydney Sweeney has great genes." Some fans loved it, calling her the perfect face of confidence and femininity, but critics hit back hard. To them, the ad wasn't about fashion at all. It was about selling sex under the guise of empowerment. Many saw it not just a wordplay, but as a dog whistle. Comments claimed it flirted with eugenics, white beauty ideals, and historic ideas of genetic superiority. Critics argued that in a cultural moment shaped by feminism, this ad was tone-deaf at best and dangerous at worst. Though Sweeney tried to take back control of her image, saying in effect, "Yes, people objectify me, but I'm the one choosing it, I'm the one who benefits. Many online saw it differently. They argued that real freedom is hard to claim when it's tied to a big brand and a marketing campaign. To her supporters, Sydney was flipping the script. For once, the gaze wasn't something imposed on her. It was something she leaned into, shaping it on her own terms. In a world where women's bodies are constantly commodified, her choice to embrace her beauty looked like resistance. But to her critics, it was the opposite. They argued that by collaborating with a giant retail brand, Sydney's empowerment was stripped of authenticity. Instead of challenging the system, she was reinforcing it. Feminists pointed out that decades of progress, fighting to move beyond being valued solely for appearance, were being undercut by a glitzy wordplay about jeans. The tension lay here. Was Sydney breaking free from the male gaze, or feeding it? One viral comment captured the contradiction perfectly. You can't own your objectification if a corporation is cashing the checks. That's not feminism, that's branding. And yes, others countered. Maybe feminism is the right to profit from your beauty if you choose. Isn't that autonomy? This clash of perspectives turned the ad into more than a meme. It became a referendum on the meaning of modern feminism itself. Ironically, the controversy only made the campaign explode. Sales spiked, the images went viral, and American Eagle suddenly had its most talked about ad in years. Cindy defended the shoot, saying she's proud of her body and refuses to be shamed for embarrassing her femininity. Now Sydney faces something bigger: cancel culture. Online voices call her overrated, fake, even accuse her of using sexuality as a career shortcut. The very thing that made her famous, her beauty, has become a reason for backlash. But here is the question: is that fair? Why do we attack women for being desired? Why do we call them too much when they step into their power? Sydney Sweeney is not the first woman to face this. From Marilyn Monroe to Megan Fox, Hollywood has a long history of punishing women for the very qualities it celebrates. So is Sydney Sweeney guilty, or is she just another victim of a system that loves to create icons and then tear them down? Personally, I'm against the sexualization of the body. I'm against women selling their beauty, but for some reason this is exactly what people buy the most. Take a look at social media. Who would you pay more attention to on TikTok? A simple girl or a beautiful, curvaceous blonde? Who would have more followers, ads, and attention? Consider the well-known example of the bronze-skinned, attractive young woman Mary McLeod on TikTok. She has received numerous views, admiration, and saves. Would another young woman who appeared more modest and not so beautiful receive the same attention? Unfortunately, sexuality continues to be a highly marketable attribute. So, let's return to Sydney Sweeney. She is a rising actress, a lightning rod of controversy, and a woman who forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about beauty, power, and feminism. Her only crime might be that she is beautiful, but maybe her true strategy is turning that crime into power. So thank you very much for watching. This is a very interesting topic for discussion. It has caused quite a stir on social media, as does any marketing related to female beauty. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. Love you all!